Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Pod Hour. It's me, it's your boy Odd, and today, this is an interesting episode of Odd's Thoughts. Maybe this is a more generic. I don't really think it's my thoughts because it's going to incorporate a lot of other people's thoughts too. And that's important to me. I always say I encourage discussion, and having these discussions is important. And today we're talking about E3 2021 that's coming up very, very soon on the date of this recording. And I'm probably going to upload it the day after because, content's got to get out there. But today we shall be talking about E3 2021. We have a couple guests coming up. Our first guest is going to be the Omega Gorilla. You should go check them out on Twitch and Twitter and all that stuff. I'll link all their stuff when I post this. We're also going to have Titus TW coming up. We're also going to have Illegal Man 2004 coming up. We got a bunch of people. We have a really good lineup. NJ LaRosa is going to write in with some stuff and hopes and dreams. And we might have a fifth guest, but I don't know yet. They haven't gotten back to me. So we're kind of playing it by ear. But I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you're listening, or if you're watching in the YouTube version. And we're streaming this too, so if you're watching this out there on Twitch, I appreciate you. So, let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Immediately, right off the bat, for me, I don't like that Sony has decided to not come to E3 again, right? I feel like that's a given. I don't think Sony is just exempt from the E3 hype. They need something to stay relevant, and they've been dropping stuff here and there, right? There was a Ratchet & Clank trailer that came out, or news about it. Final Fantasy VII Gatorade, or whatever it's called, is about to drop if it hasn't dropped already. It's just not, it doesn't feel right that Sony feels like they deserve this space to step out of E3. E3 is supposed to be this big hype time, and now it's going to come what it always boils down to, which is Nintendo versus Xbox, and who's going to win between them, who's going to have a better E3. Personally, I don't know. I don't know who's going to have a better E3 between Xbox and Nintendo, because it's just the context of this E3 is like kind of bonkers, right? We didn't have an E3 last year. We just couldn't. That's a great title. NJ LaRusa, that's what this is going to be called. Pod Hour, the Squad's Thoughts. Instead of Odd's Thoughts, it's going to be Squad's Thoughts. I like that. Last year there was no E3 because there was a global situation. And, hopefully that sparks some creativity in some game devs, so we're going to get some wild announcements. There's a lot of hype coming up into this E3, which is always going to be misplaced. But hopefully it isn't. Hopefully this is the one time where it's like expectations are high and those expectations are met. Just given the fact that we haven't had one. We haven't had an E3 in 2 years. We had Nintendo didn't even drop a Direct until the end of last year. That's besides the point. By all means, drop me a comment in chat, wherever you're listening. Let me know. Give me some thoughts. Except unless you're going to be on, where you're going to talk about it physically. So, these are my personal expectations. This is what I'm expecting. Starting with Nintendo, I think we're going to get more. I'm going to start with what I think is almost definite, and then I'm going to go into what I hope for. I think we're going to get more Splatoon 3 news. I feel like that's like their biggest announcement, right? We're probably going to get a trailer for Skyward Sword Remastered again. If we're lucky, maybe we'll get a little bit of Breath of the Wild 2. Maybe. That's a big maybe. I think we're going to get two big announcements. I think we're going to get two really, really wild things. I don't know what those things are. That could be something like Mario Kart 9. That could be the next Smash Fighter. I think those are probably the two safest bets. Just because if you're going to announce Splatoon 3, you kind of need to bring a sequel to something that's already on Switch in another genre. And given the fact that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best-selling game on Switch, wild, right? That's not really something you can ignore as a game dev. So that being said, I think that's what we're going to look at. I'm not going to go into what I think the next Smash Fighter is, because I'm pretty sure a couple people coming on are going to talk about what they expect from the Smash Fighter, who it might be. But I will talk about Mario Kart 9 and what I think it should do. I think we should bring mission mode back. I think you should have, not necessarily a bigger roster, but similar to Mario Kart Wii, where every character had their own stats. I think that would be a good return to that form, and not just light, medium, heavy like they did in Double Dash and 8. That's just me, right? Again, I'm open to thoughts. I think we're going to get one last look at Mario Golf Super Rush before it launches, because it launches in a week, right? Doesn't it launch really, really soon? We're probably going to get one last trailer to build up that just a little bit more hype. Just a touch. Just a touch. I think we're going to see an update to New Pokemon Snap or Miitopia. I don't think we're going to see an update to both. I think we're going to get one or the other. Because those are the two newest releases from Nintendo. I think it's fair to expect a little something. right? Maybe upcoming DLC for new Pokemon Snap, like another island or some. I haven't beaten the game, so maybe more post game. I think that's fair, right? Especially in this age of DLC. And I think this is a reach. This is a big reach. I mean, it's not like a big reach. The release date is June 25th for Mario Golf. Okay, so from today, it's 20 days away. So 1 day less than 3 weeks. That tracks. I don't think this is a big reach. I think it's a reach, though, because there's always been rumors, but this is the time to announce it. I think Nintendo is going to show the Switch Pro. Because it's E3, we didn't have one last year. You need to build up some hype for the holiday release. And I'm going to talk about more about what I expect from the holiday release. But I think a Switch Pro reveal is, I'm going to say, somewhat likely. Everything I've said so far I think is likely. Likely to very likely. But this I think is somewhat likely. I'll put that in the somewhat likely category. Let's pretend we're making a tier list here. Okay, so I think a Switch Pro would be phenomenal. I think that would be really good. I want a Switch that just stays home, isn't mobile, and is like super strong. Like super good graphics, just really, really well-built home console version of the Switch. We have a pure mobile version. We have the hybrid. Give me the home console one that is a truck. That is just an absolute monster. Moving along. Xbox, right? We can talk about like individual companies and all that stuff later if you would like. But I didn't really prepare for that, to be completely honest. With Xbox, I think we're going to get a ton of games coming to Game Pass. Xbox is going to announce that they bought like half a Nintendo, or obviously not, but like some wild purchase that we never saw coming. I think Xbox is going to announce a huge amount of games coming to Game Pass. I think they're going to talk about 4 games that no one's going to talk about, because a lot of times what Xbox will do Microsoft really, they'll buy indie devs and then do nothing with them, right? And I really didn't put a whole lot into Xbox because I don't know what to expect. I'm leaving Xbox open-ended on purpose because I've so much more drastically switched into a Switch and PlayStation gamer, whereas Xbox stuff still gets me excited. We're going to get Halo Infinite news. We have to get a trailer for Halo Infinite, right? That's a given. There's no way the next Halo game doesn't get at least talked about. We're probably going to get a trailer. I think they have a release date, but maybe a more definitive release date. That's their holiday game. I think it pushed back to November of this year, 2021. I have that pre-ordered already. I hope you do too. My Series X is dying. That's the Halo machine, right? I need it. Yeah. And as far as what reaching is, like maybe a stretch, maybe we get a little more news about Elder Scrolls 6. Maybe. And Illegal Man just dropped a chat on Twitch, a message. 100% accurate, 100% right. We need a reason to own a Series X because right now you don't have one. Right now I play Resident Evil 8 on it. I played it last night for stream. That's all it has been for. I have only been playing games that are not exclusive to Series X. Whereas the PS5 has Dark Souls and a bunch of other games coming out and stuff like that. We're still in that like early era where there's like games that are on PS4 and PS5, games that will be on Xbox One and Series X. We need a game that's definitively next gen. Halo Infinite is Xbox's next step. That's their next gen exclusive, you know? And it's important. Exclusives sell consoles. We know this. So, reaching, again, I think it's somewhat likely we're going to get Elder Scrolls 6 news. Somewhat. I don't really know about that. NJ, I'm leaving that topic. NJ brought up something in chat. I'm going to talk about it in a second when I go through your write-in because it is a good thing, and I wanted to leave it out of this early part for a reason. What are my hopes, right? These are dreams. Dreams come true. I don't think they're going to happen. I just hope that they happen. I hope we get any information about Banjo-Kazooie. I hope we get a remaster. I hope we get a trailer. I hope Real Replay comes to Switch. Something big about Banjo-Kazooie. There's all this hype around Rare, Banjo being in Smash and all this stuff. I've been waiting for so long. People have been asking for it for a while. Please, just something. Just a little something. I wore this hat for a reason. For those of you listening on the podcast, I'm wearing my N64 hat. I want to see N64 Online come to Switch. I want to see an N64 Classic. If I don't get either of those things, I want a virtual console on the Switch. Man, I feel like it's totally reasonable to say, okay, we have NES Online, we have Super Nintendo Online. What about people who want to play all these other games? You have a great library of virtual console games on the Wii U. Bring that to Switch. One of the greatest things about the Wii U is being able to play DS games. Touchscreen on the Switch. Let's not forget that, okay? Game Boy Advance Online would be awesome. I want some old game acknowledgement. I didn't even put this in my hopes and dreams because I know Nintendo doesn't care about it. I want GameCube games back, man. I have 2 copies of Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door because one of them started to crack, and I got nervous. So I spent $70 on another GameCube version because I didn't want to lose it. I have it as backup. I've taken measures to make sure that even if those get got, so be it. I want Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 back too. Well, 1 came back. I want 2. That's not going to happen anymore. I originally wanted a God of War Ragnarok trailer, but that just got pushed back to late 2022. So I don't think that's going to happen. Message that to me, NJ, because I'm definitely going to forget. And this is my biggest dream come true. I want a Cyberpunk apology video. I don't really care about Cyberpunk. I just think it would be funny if CD Projekt Red was like, we are so sorry that this happened. And then that's it. That's the whole video. It's just whoever the CEO is just like, I apologize. And it just fades out. And we're all just like, yes. Thank you, CD Projekt Red. Now I am less angry about spending money on Cyberpunk 2077. And that's just the W we need. Okay, sick. I made time. I did it. Now we're going to call our first guest. We are going to call Omega Gorilla. So, Omega, I'm about to call you. Get ready for what you would like to talk about. And yeah, I'm going to mark this so I don't forget what the time is, just in case I need to edit it for whatever reason. Here we go. Let's give Omega Gorilla a call. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. How are you?
What's up, Odd Hour? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So this is our first guest, Omega Gorilla. Omega, if you want to introduce yourself, tell people what you got going on.
What's up, guys? I'm Omega Gorilla. I'm the Omega Gorilla on Twitch.tv. That's primarily where you can find me. Everything else pretty sporadic. You can find me on Twitter at Omega_Gorilla. And for now, that's pretty much it.
Wonderful. So, happy to have you. Good to hear from you again.
Thanks for having me.
Lay it on me. What do you want from this E3?
Okay, so this is something I haven't heard many people talk about a lot because I feel like it just hasn't been brought up in a while. Mm-hmm. But BioShock 3 or BioShock 4, because I'm not sure what the name of convention is going to wind up being.
So you're saying a sequel, not like a next in the line after BioShock Infinite?
Like, it doesn't have to necessarily be a direct sequel to BioShock Infinite, but something with BioShock. Because it was announced that 2K was working on a new BioShock game with a brand new studio. I think they were called Cloud Interactive. But there hasn't been any details given. I just want something. Like, I'll take a teaser trailer at this point because I was a huge BioShock fan back in high school, and it's just been a complete drought of content from them.
I think big agree about BioShock there. BioShock is one of the greatest franchises ever. It's just so much fun, like great writing, great story. There's so much behind BioShock. I did not know that there was one confirmed by 2K working with another dev.
Yeah, they said that they're actually making it, but it's with a new studio that they have. I don't know. There's not really any details besides that. I think that was announced like last year, but they gave no other details, so it could be super early in development, and maybe they don't have anything prepared. But because they did say that like about a year ago, I have my hopes up that maybe we'll get some kind of announcement, acknowledgement, just literally anything, man. Like, I just miss BioShock so much.
No, I absolutely agree. I would also, I think that's going to be fairly likely. If it's been in development for this long, if they announced it last year, yeah, I think it's safe to say we're going to get some sort of trailer or some acknowledgement towards BioShock. Does 2K have a segment at E3 this year? I believe they do.
They typically do because their studio, don't they have like 100 different like gaming developers?
They
like,
do.
Right now, like they have like a huge umbrella.
Yeah, 2K is one of the biggest like companies in gaming right now. They make so much and they're responsible for so much.
Yeah, they would never like. They also have GTA. I highly doubt they would mention anything about GTA at E3 because I think typically they just kind of announce Rockstar games just on their own because they're such a big like name grab that they just do them by themselves and they still wind up doing amazing numbers.
Absolutely.
So I would be shocked if they did anything with GTA, but that'd be pretty cool too. Since Bethesda is now under the ownership of Microsoft, I'm also kind of hoping that we can get something from Bethesda. Like, I'm pretty sure they have a showcase this year, right?
I'm looking at it now. It's called the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase on June 13th, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific.
So they have to have a banger set up. Now, the question is really, what is it? I don't think it's gonna be Fallout, even though I'm a big Fallout fan, and I
Hmm.
would be overjoyed if they announced like a Fallout New Vegas 2 or something like that.
That'd be cool.
But I kind of doubt that. I feel like typically they go back and forth between Elder Scrolls and Fallout. So like you mentioned earlier, I think Elder Scrolls 6 will probably get something.
I hope so. I hope so.
I hope they show something with it. Like I don't think we'll get like gameplay if we do wind up getting anything, but it'll probably be like a little like maybe 30-second trailer.
We already got like a 30-second trailer where they showed like a JPEG of the logo, I think. But I mean,
Oh yeah, they literally showed one picture and everybody went insane.
yeah, because Elder Scrolls 6, that's such a big Skyrim is like, you know what a lot of people forget? Skyrim is like GTA 5 in the fact that it's been out and re-released about 8 different times.
Oh, listen, I don't know if people forget about that. There's 100 memes. It's like we had Skyrim Special Edition, then we had the PS4 edition. Didn't they say that they were going to update it for PS5 to give it like 4K? I'm asking. I don't know about that one. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. They had it on
Probably.
Switch, they had it on PC, their Game of the Year editions. Like at this point, I think they've milked it as much as they can, and
Yeah.
I just like to see something new come out.
That's absolutely fair. Yeah, I
One
know,
more
I agree.
One more thing while we have Bethesda in mind. I know that Doom had a year one like season pass, so I'm assuming since it was year one, I was under the impression that there's going to be a year two, and there was rumors that they want to do something with like a. They said they would be open to the idea. Just some developers like talking. I don't think it's like anything official, but they were talking about making like a crossover event between Master Chief and Doom Guy. Highly unlikely, super big reach, but I would love that.
That it would be interesting. I think it maybe we'll see like a Master Chief costume. Doesn't Doom Eternal have multiplayer? I know Doom
Yes, it
2016 did.
does.
Yeah,
And
so
they said they're still going to be updating it the rest of the year.
yeah, so I think we now that Microsoft owns Bethesda, we might see a Master Chief fit in Doom Eternal multiplayer, which would be cool, right? It'd be cool. A lot of people draw comparisons between Master Chief and Doom Guy and who would win in a fight and stuff like that. That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool.
I think it would fit, especially since their armors are low key kind of similar. I don't know if that's gonna get people mad, but like their armors remind me of each other so much. I feel like they just fit in like pretty easily. They also said they wanted to do something with a potential female version of the Doom Guy, but that they wanted her to be like her own character. Again, these are just things they talk about. I don't think they have anything like official in the works. But I wouldn't mind like a Doom Gal,
That'd be
like
cool.
kind of like spin off. Like if they ever want to do like a year two season pass.
That'd be cool. Give us a female protagonist that isn't overly sexualized. I'd be thrilled.
Oh yeah, I want her to be built like a monster truck, just wielding a bloody shotgun and a chainsaw.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Because again, you're not really concerned with who's behind the chainsaw when you're playing Doom. You're just murdering people or
Yeah, I'm not
demons.
concerned if they're attractive.
Yeah, like
eventually
literally
attractive.
who cares? Sorry, Doom Guy's forearm doesn't really get me going, Bethesda. Anyway,
The six pack though, that midriff.
yeah, no, you can't forget that. So yeah, Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. Take-Two Interactive has a thing scaled for June 14th. Thing scheduled, excuse me, with a bunch of other devs. So the 14th goes to Take-Two, Mythical Games, Freedom Games, Razer, and Capcom. So maybe we'll see probably the 80th expansion to GTA 5 Online, where you're going to be able to race rocket ships. I don't know, man. Where could they go next? Make it like Fast and Furious 9, where they're like, let's go to space. And everyone's like, yeah, no, that's fine. Hire Vin Diesel, let's do it.
See, I feel like you're joking, but like I wouldn't be
I
surprised
wish
if
I
they did
was
something like
joking.
that.
I wish I was joking.
They're just going as far as they can with GTA Online, and don't get me wrong, I really do enjoy GTA Online.
It's not
But
bad.
there's a certain point where I just want a new infrastructure. Like we're using the skeleton of a game from the PS3 that's just been brought back up over and over again. It's fun. I love that. I'd like to see what you're capable of doing with today's technology.
A big agree. I really couldn't agree with you more. Do you think we're going to get something for Borderlands?
I think so, because wasn't there recently a leak where they said that there was going to be a Borderlands spin-off with Tiny Tina at the helm?
I believe so. I think there was recently a teaser posted for the movie as well. So I feel like a game is
Well,
something.
that would make perfect sense, because like if you have a movie coming out, you want to like just keep people paying attention to the IP. So anything going on with the game would just keep eyes on them, which would help hype up the movie. Especially if you do like some movie tie-in like DLC. Like, oh, like pre-order and you get like the outfits from the movie or something like that.
Yeah, no, that's a brilliant idea. I haven't seen much support for Borderlands 3 recently. I honestly, I played it maybe once or twice and haven't touched it since. But yeah, no, that tracks. Anything else?
Well, see, I'm not as big into Nintendo. I recently just like returned to
Right.
the Nintendo fold, so I'm very behind on a lot of things. I missed out on a bunch of great games, so that thing you were talking about with like a virtual console would be a huge draw for me. Like, I desperately want to be able to catch up on all the stuff that I missed out on, but my Switch sadly doesn't play any of it, which is disappointing considering that the Wii U apparently had a lot of backwards compatibility.
The Wii U
I
had
would
Wii
love to get a
games,
Wii.
like Wii game compatibility. Sorry, I cut you off. I apologize.
No, no, you're good. Finish your thought, because I was gonna go into another thing.
Yeah, no. See, Nintendo, like, for players like you that just get back into Nintendo, miss an entire library of games that are either getting re-released or not. So if you get a virtual console and you bring those games to Switch, you bring, like, more customers. That's just more money from people like you who missed out. And there's a lot of people who have given up on Nintendo. And then they see the Switch doing so well. The Switch, like, flew off shelves during the pandemic. Like, it was just gone. No one could get one. You're missing out on a huge market. Specifically, people like you who missed out on it and are trying to get back in.
See, I would have expected them to capitalize on it more, considering what was going on. Like, now you've got more butts and seats than ever. This is the perfect time to try to, like, differentiate yourself from the other, like, big consoles. And right there, since their catalog, their library is so, like, historic, they could easily do that. So I just don't understand why they didn't do that. I feel like everyone would have loved it. No one would have had a problem with that. I want to play Wind Waker HD. I heard that the Wii U port of that was, like, really good. Like,
Phenomenal.
I never got to play it, and I don't want to buy a Wii U just to play that. Like, honestly, I'm tempted to get a Wii U just so I can play some old Nintendo games.
They're not even making them anymore. So get one now before they go to $1 billion because of scalpers.
Also, quick one, I don't know much about the franchise, but I want to get into the franchise, Metroid. I know that there's, like, a fandom that, like, really loves the series.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just interested because I like the style, and also Samus is one of my favorite characters to play in Smash Brothers.
Samus is a pretty cool. A lot of people really like Samus. Because, again, Brie Larson wants to play her in a movie if that ever gets made. That would be cool.
I would love a movie with that. I would love anything with Metro. I just feel like there's a lot of old franchises that are kind of being left in the dust.
A lot of
while
Nintendo franchises.
Is just kind of like pumping out regular stuff.
Exactly. A lot of Nintendo franchises are being left in the dust. All right, sick. Thank you so much for your time, Omega. Again, please go look up Omega Gorilla on Twitter, the Omega Gorilla on Twitch. We'll put that stuff in the description. Any sign-offs, any final notes?
Thanks so much for having me, and I'm gonna stick around and watch this on Twitch. So yeah, let's see what else everybody else has to say.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, have a good day, bud.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, wonderful. All right, well, that went really well. That was a great first guest segment here on this episode of Pod Hour, and yeah, a lot of good points being made by Omega. Let's move right along. Let's keep it going. Next up, we have, I believe, Illegal Man. Right, Illegal Man, I gave you the 3:30 slot. And then we have Titus and then write-ins. Okay, so, Illegal Man, I am going to call you on Discord right now. Hello.
Oh.
All right, sick, wonderful. We can hear you. How are you doing today, Illegal Man?
I am doing... besides my arm, I'm doing fine. I'm playing Monkey Ball on my DS.
What a wonderful day to spend what a wonderful way to spend a Saturday.
Agree. I'm playing monkey bowling.
Wonderful. All right, lay it on me. What do you want from E3 this year?
It really depends on what games are being announced. Smash, I just want a new character that isn't big sword equal big range.
Well, here's the thing. I believe your most wanted character right now is Doomslayer, who has a sword now.
Yes, that's a thing now. But actually, I'm thinking that's not going to happen. I thought it during the Game Awards, because during the Game Awards it was nominated for Game of the Year. It was a year anniversary, and Microsoft and Nintendo were getting closer. So that was a thing.
You think it missed its peak potential at the Game Awards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because during the Game Awards, I was on Twitter and I even saw a bunch of people talking about it, like, "Oh, I can't wait to beat the yellow rat with Doomslayer."
Yeah, that was a big meme for a while. But here's the thing. Here's something to consider. Don't forget that development slowed down significantly during 2020, and we were supposed to be done with Smash DLC. I believe the final date was February 2021. Now, here we are in June 2021. We still have 2 characters left. Maybe, just maybe, the second to last character is still going to be Doomslayer. It just wasn't ready.
True. Okay, but hear me out.
Yeah, please.
For Smash, Minecraft Steve Smash was the biggest meme for Smash.
Right.
Now that that's over, the new biggest meme was Waluigi for Smash.
It's true.
You see where I'm heading with this?
So you're thinking Waluigi is more likely.
No, I don't think it's more likely, but I would be ecstatic if it happened.
Yeah, I think everybody can agree. I feel like Waluigi is like, honestly, maybe the most neutral choice that everyone's just going to be like, yeah, that makes sense.
But to be honest, I don't think it's going to happen because he's already an assist trophy.
And they put Springman as an assist trophy. They made Min Min a spirit, and then Min Min became a fighter. Don't think that anything deconfirms anything. Everything is still on the table. So Sakurai does not play by the rules he made. He's just going off the walls at this point.
Sometimes I wonder what Sakurai decided to eat that morning when he did the thing.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people forget that Nintendo is the one who decides, okay, we want these characters. And Sakurai has the power to be like yes or no. But if he can see the potential of a moveset, he says yes. He's not going to ignore something because it's no, I don't think I can do this, or yes, I can. So if he sees the potential in a moveset, he has to make it.
Yeah, you're
because
not wrong.
His boss is being like, we want this.
Again, you're not wrong. That is pretty much a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to expect out of. I think it's fair to assume we're going to get a Smash reveal, and maybe at the end of June we'll get a release or whatever character it is. But
yeah,
I don't know for sure. Who's your best guess? Most likely.
My best guess, most likely. I don't know.
Interesting. You're not even close to being like this. I feel like this character has a pretty good shot. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's because it's all up in the air at this point, you know.
Totally fair. We really can't guess anything based on the picks, right? Let's not forget there are 3 Nintendo characters now, right? There are 3 Nintendo characters in this pass: Pyra, Mithra, Min Min, and Byleth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, not even Nintendo is excluded from bringing in DLC characters. So it's like, who could it be? Looking at this, the DLC so far has been wild, especially if you include Piranha Plant as the DLC, because like
oh yeah, my favorite DLC.
I love Sakurai's weird mind that he was like, yeah, I can make Piranha Plant into a fighter, and then did, and honestly, Piranha Plant is not that bad.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the notion that like any character can't be a character. Like people who sit on that hill of like, Gino can't be a character, Bandana D can't be a character, this character can't be a character. No. If Piranha Plant can be a character, if Piranha Plant, Captain Falcon, and Ness from Earthbound can be characters, anybody can be a character. Any physical video game character, or they're all digital, whatever. Any video game character has the potential.
Let's just talk about the fact that in another fighting game, a lawyer was a character. Because that was a
Phoenix Wright in a fighting game worked and is one of the best characters in that game.
Honestly. Although besides Smash, the Nintendo Switch Pro, what are your thoughts on it?
What are my thoughts on it? I mentioned it briefly earlier. I really think we're going to see... I hope that we're seeing something, right? I feel like it's fair. Based on the rumors, there was a Bloomberg report that came out. Mm-hmm. Everybody and their mother is talking about it at this point. We all want the Switch Pro. We want a stronger Switch. So just make it. Like, you just, like...
Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I am not a huge fan of the concept.
Why? Whoa, why?
Like, okay, I can tell this is going to be a hot take.
A very hot take.
Okay, like, I want the idea of a really strong Switch. You know, I love that idea. It's just that I don't want there to be, like, exclusives that you can only play on the Switch, like what they did with the new 3DS and 3DS. Or the DSi with the DS. You know?
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. So
I don't want to have to buy a whole new console just to play Mario Kart 9 on, you know?
That's fair. I don't think they're going to do that, and I'll tell you why. I don't think the Switch Pro is going to have a different controller or control set. I think it's just going to be a matter of scaling resolution. Right? I feel like it's just going to be presenting more. Whereas the DS and the DSi involved camera. The new Nintendo 3DS had the Z buttons as opposed to the L and R buttons. I don't think they're going to give us a new Joy-Con. I don't think they're going to give us a Switch 2. I think they're going to just expand what the Switch hardware already is.
Hmm.
That's what I think is going to happen. Then again, you made me completely doubt that because you make really good points about the DS to the DSi and the 3DS to the new 3DS.
Yeah, because
Like
Nintendo has a problem with doing that.
it is a problem now that I think about it because I didn't really get into DSi games. I stuck to DS games. I didn't concern myself with them, and then I
Yeah.
got the 3DS and then the new 3DS. It didn't make that much of a difference to me. But you're absolutely right that there was like some games
There
also
wasn't-
just objectively worked better on a new 3DS, despite the fact that they were for the base 3DS game, right?
Exactly. You know.
No, I get it. I
For
get it.
some- And even for some Nintendo consoles, like you know what the Wii Mini is?
The Wii Mini, I do. Towards the end of the Wii's life cycle, there was
lifespan.
a Wii Mini drop. There was a
that's
very
right.
small
Canada.
version of it.
It was like completely small. It came with the red Wii remote,
Yep, yep.
and it came with Mario Kart Wii. And it completely gutted everything that was amazing about the Wii. It got rid of the online. It got rid of a lot of functions. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, it was mostly the online that was a problem.
Wii Online was
Which-
garbage anyway, to be completely honest.
Yeah, but
Let's not forget.
Yeah, but like it was garbage, but it was an experience. It worked amazingly with some games, especially Mario Kart, Wii, which was a pack-in for the console.
Yeah. No, again,
It's
that's
fun to
that's
make
very,
stuff.
very fair. Does a price cut justify removing key functions of a console? Yes or no?
There's a price cut. Yeah, I'm like if you're gonna save money on it, you know, you gotta remove some parts.
It's fair. It's fair. I think so too.
But-
I just wonder what's like if these are all key things, right? What dictates what can stay
Yeah.
and what can go,
Well,
you know?
And this relates to my Switch Pro point, right?
Hmm.
Because when the Wii Mini was made, they were still making the one that goes sideways and the original, right?
Yeah, yes.
I'm scared about the fact that they're discontinuing the Switch as like the original model, you know?
Hmm.
Take out, put back in.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, because like, oh hi, dummy Chris. Because I want to keep the original Switch as a whole, you know?
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't think they're gonna stop because, like, you're making really good points. You're making really good points. I can't really disagree or agree because I don't know, right? We just have to sit around, twiddle our thumbs, and hope that this Switch Pro that we believe to be coming out will not do what Nintendo has done in the past, which is maybe they've learned their lesson, maybe they haven't. Maybe we haven't made a big enough deal about the Wii Mini being garbage in comparison to the Wii. You know, that maybe that's on us. Maybe that's on us.
Honestly. Yeah, no. Like, what I'm thinking is Nintendo, when the Switch came out, it was riding a massive high, you know? Huge sales, and especially when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out.
Right.
And if they discontinue it, and then some of that high is going to be faded out because they're getting rid of the cheap option.
Right.
So keep a cheap option and an expensive option for those who want to decide, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think the Switch Lite is like the cheap option to answer the Switch right now. I don't know what the Switch Pro would do to that family of things. Okay. All right. We're out of time. Do you have any final thoughts that you want to share? Any final ideas?
As for Xbox, I hope that there's something to justify buying a Series X or Series S.
Again, what we talked about earlier, absolutely 100%. We need something that sells the Series X. Some more exclusives would be good. Halo, we're definitely going to get a Halo trailer. We have to. There's no way. Okay.
The SNES has more reason to buy than the Series X right now.
Yeah, there really isn't, unless you want a more powerful Xbox One, which is just silly at this point. Okay, Illegal
At this
Man,
point, yeah.
where can people find you? Where can people check out your stuff? Let them know.
You can find me at twitch.tv/illegalman2004. It's the same as my thing on Twitch chat right now.
If you're in chat,
Right there.
you'll see it. If not, sorry that you missed out. Okay, bye-bye.
It happens. See ya.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, sick, wonderful. That's for those of you watching on Twitch right now. That's illegal_man2004. Go check him out. For those listening on the podcast and watching on YouTube, illegalman_2004 on Twitch. Go check them out. You'll see that in the description. Wherever you're listening, wherever you're enjoying Pod Hour. Okay, moving right along. Once again, we have our next guest. We have Titus TW. Titus, if you're ready, I will give you a call on Discord, and let's get rolling. Hello. Titus, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to hear you. How are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Wonderful to hear. All right, lay it on me. Let's not waste time. What do you want from E3 this year?
All right, so for everybody who is listening to this right now, I'm sorry, but I'm mainly also kind of a Switch/Nintendo person myself. So I'm mainly just here to also talk about more Nintendo stuff. I think it's just because we all love Nintendo just as a whole community, but I just apologize in advance if, some of you think, oh, this is too much Nintendo, blah, blah, blah. Well, shut up. Anyways, I mostly thought about a lot of the same stuff that you were kind of talking about earlier with the Switch. I do want to just go ahead and start up and bring up an interesting point because I feel like Nintendo is making a right move in not doing this for E3. And by doing this, well, here's what I mean. So, when Mario Tennis Aces came out, I know, I'm only talking about this because the concept of how they presented it back then is relevant to how it is now. So what they did with Mario Tennis Aces, because we're also getting a new Mario sports game coming out literally this month, what they did with Mario Tennis Aces is that they showed a first look of the game as a separate YouTube video. And then they proceeded to talk about it for 5-6 minutes in one of their previous directs from 2-3 years back. Now, it was recently brought to my attention that they actually did the opposite for Mario Golf Super Rush, I believe that's what the game is called. Because instead of actually doing the same thing they did with Mario Tennis Aces, instead they gave you a first look in the most recent direct that they gave. And then they proceeded to just make a whole separate video that's 5 to 6 minutes long talking about the game, which in fact might be the smarter choice for them because they're actually saving room for other announcements that could be more hype as opposed to hearing more news about a game that's already being revealed,
I completely agree with you. That was a much better move. And, when Nintendo usually announces directs, like, expect 40 minutes of content, 45 minutes of content. When you're taking 6 minutes out of that to talk about a single game, it's a little disheartening. I agree with you.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about something, that's completely new to everybody that nobody knows about, then sure, that's fine. If I recall correctly, I think the last direct they had a whole spotlight on a game that was similar to Octopath, but it's called something else. But it's very
Project
similar to
Trinity or
Octopath,
something with triple, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember. Y'all can let us know in the comments below because we don't remember names, unfortunately. But they talked about something similar called. It's similar to Octopath Traveler, basically. I don't know if it's a direct sequel to Octopath. I don't remember if they said it was a direct sequel, but they talked about that for 5-6 minutes, and it was completely new. Like I don't think many people expected a game similar to Octopath that was eventually going to come out to the Switch. Like, if you're going to do a 5 to 6 minute announcement, do it on something that at least some people don't expect and some people that will actually be interested in looking into this game.
No, I completely agree, right? We didn't expect that game, and all the memes about it where this looks just like Octopath. So they're releasing a very similar game with very similar aesthetics, maybe even gameplay too. I never played Octopath, and I really didn't pay attention during that direct because I wasn't super interested. But again,
right.
Like highlighting one specific game for such a significant amount of time in a direct is not a good practice. And you think Nintendo is not going to do that this year, or you hope that they're not going to do that this year?
Well, like I said, them not doing it for Mario Golf Super Rush is already a step in the right direction for more announcements to make their way in. But I mean, they could do it. They could do it with another game. Like you said, there's probably going to be a lot of Splatoon 3 news, because Splatoon 3 was the dark horse of that entire direct, if you will. Like, it's one of those announcements that literally nobody expected. I don't think there was many people, right? If there were any people, there were maybe a few people that expected a whole second Splatoon game to make it onto the exact same console, which still blows my mind. I mean, Mario Golf Super Rush was the other dark horse announcement of the other direct, but I think Splatoon 3, and I can't deny it myself as much of a Mario fan as I am, that Splatoon 3 was probably the biggest announcement of that direct for a lot of people.
100%.
And I can see them doing a whole 5 to 6 minute spotlight on Splatoon 3, if anything.
Well, have we gotten a release date for Splatoon 3? Because I think it might be a little too soon after the announcement to go deep into it. Maybe closer, maybe like end of year?
Right, yeah, no. Like, what I'm saying, like, if they're going to do anything about Splatoon 3 at all, that's what they're probably going to do, or maybe they'll briefly touch up upon it, maybe give us a release date. I don't know. They'll probably talk about it, but if they don't, then obviously they're going to save it for, like, its own separate direct, like what they did with Splatoon 2, because Splatoon 2 had quite a few of its own separate directs. Like, that's how much that's how much they pushed that game. And I guess while we're on that topic, because you probably know this, but some of our streamer friends are kind of complaining about how we're already getting a Splatoon 3 and not, say, like a Mario Kart 9. And here's what I think about that whole scenario, right? We've all already talked about how, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best-selling game on Switch, right? And we haven't gotten a new Mario Kart since then, and no Fisher-Price Mario Kart doesn't count, or Mario Kart on mobile doesn't count, right? Even though for some reason they've put in so much into Mario Kart Tour. I kind of don't understand that, but they have. Here's what I think about the scenario. Splatoon 2, in comparison to Mario Kart in terms of sales, hasn't done nearly as well. I mean, if Mario Kart's doing the best on the Switch, then obviously nothing's doing better than Mario Kart, right? But Splatoon 2, if you look at the numbers in comparison to Mario Kart, it's not as good as you probably think it would be. I mean, it's still impressive for a sequel to a game that came out on the Wii U, and maybe at first not many people cared about it, but but you can tell that just based off the numbers, right? It might be selling well in America and Japan, but in other parts of the world, it's not doing as great. Because if Mario Kart's selling in all parts of the world equally well, then something's up with Splatoon. So my theory is that Nintendo decided to push for another Splatoon game on console for two big reasons. First of all, because they want to push the popularity in Japan to where, maybe they'll start doing esports for it again or something like that, because I believe when the Switch was first out, people were already speculating about, Splatoon 2 esports and stuff like that. Well, Splatoon 3 esports, when the world opens back up, could actually be a thing. So I'm assuming the first big reason they're releasing another Splatoon game on the same exact console that their previous counterpart released on is to increase the popularity within their home country, that Nintendo headquarters is in. And then, of course, the other reason is to just make even more sales than what Splatoon 2 did. Because I think Splatoon 2 at this point has maybe sold like close to 15 million copies, and Mario Kart is still selling like double or almost 3 times that. So even though about 15 million copies of the game is really good, like, Nintendo's like, hey, we could make more off making another sequel because, Splatoon in some way or form might have died out. So that's probably why they're making a third game. And that's also the exact reason why I don't think we're going to get a Mario Kart 9 on Switch, unless for whatever reason Nintendo decides to just kill their port that's been selling the best on Switch. Because as long as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe continues to sell like hotcakes, I don't think that Nintendo would really even see a good reason to make another Mario Kart game, because then they're just killing their most popular game just to make another version of that. And as much as I personally would also love a Mario Kart 9, that's why I don't think it's going to happen.
You bring up a lot of really good points, right? Why would you kill something that's selling so hot? Great point. Again, the Splatoon points were also very, very good. To your note about Mario Kart Tour, it's a mobile game, freemium game, so a lot of people spend tons of money on it.
I don't know if I specified that earlier, but yeah, Mario Kart Tour is on mobile, and again, they've been adding a lot of stuff to it, which I'm surprised about.
A lot. You shouldn't be surprised about that, because again, the more you add to it, the more people put their money in it. I'm one of those people. I spend $5 a month on that game because of all the stuff that they put in it. It's great. It's a really fun game. If they treated Mario Kart Tour like they treated Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or even Mario Kart 9 whenever that comes out at some point in the future, phenomenal. Look up the roster for Mario Kart Tour and tell me that doesn't look like an amazing kart roster, okay? Bottom line.
And by the way, like, for those of you wondering, I'm not hating on Mario Kart Tour, but I just wish that it would be more of like a console game instead of it being a mobile game. But the stuff that they're doing in it is great. I mean, personally, I stopped playing it after a while, but I remember when it first came out, me and my college homies, we'd be playing it like there's no business in doing anything else.
Very fun.
But unfortunately, I feel like because, it's not on the Switch, that's why for a lot of us it died out. That, and it took them a whole year, I think, to finally, I don't know, I guess, make you play it in landscape mode. Because playing it as if like you're texting someone is a little weird.
Yeah, usually they finally added landscape mode, which was really cool. You had to play it like this, which wasn't terrible, but being able to see the whole screen like this was really, really cool. A nice update.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I got back to it as soon as I heard landscape mode for a little bit because I at least wanted to try it out before I decided to not play it again, and it was pretty cool to say the least. But again, it would be nice if all of that stuff came to console. Like my speculation, if they're going to do Mario Kart 9, is bring a lot of stuff back from 8 Deluxe because a lot of the stuff in 8 Deluxe was amazing. And I mean, sure, you can kind of mix and match the tracks from other Mario Kart games that we're not getting the exact same track roster. Bring back other tracks for them to remaster, which I can think of a lot that they could do, and then also bring some stuff in from Tour so that it's the perfect mix of everything.
Yeah, a lot of the things that I thought Tor did was really cool, and I have an idea that I'm going to bring up about this. They did like remix tracks where they like changed the track a little bit. They did reverse tracks that I feel like we've heard our friend MMG Mike talk about. Here's another thing that we haven't considered because I've talked about Mario Kart 9. Why not just bring in more DLC to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? If you bring in DLC, you increase sales for the game because people are like, I want to try this DLC out, and you bring in more money towards what that game is selling to the however many 30, 40 million people who already own Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Expanding that game is a great idea. You don't necessarily need a sequel, right? Splatoon 2 had a ton of stuff. Splatoon 3 deserved a sequel, as far as I'm concerned. But with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the way that it's running, you don't necessarily need a new entry. Just expand on what you have already. There are way more characters you can add. There are so many more tracks you can add. That game still has so much life in it, as we've clearly seen. Expand on it a little bit, right? You don't need to expand the franchise. Expand the entry.
Right, yeah. So here's the thing about me personally, okay? I bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because I knew that I would play the game all over again. That, and I pretty much got my Switch around the time, when I was going out with my homies, for marching band competitions and stuff. So obviously there were going to be very long bus rides, and I can't tell you the amount of hours that we spent in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like together as friends, when the world was still a safe time, because we genuinely enjoyed it. But I know there's a certain demographic of people that don't want to buy Mario Kart because it's pretty much the same stuff from the Wii U, with the exception of a better battle mode than the Wii U version, right? I mean, that's pretty much it. For some people, a new battle mode isn't enough to convince a certain part of the market that they should be buying this game. But I completely agree. With more DLC, they could really, if sales weren't good enough already, more DLC would push this game through the roof. And what we've learned so far, and what I've actually learned, with the exception of one game, which is Super Mario Party, because that game finally got online after almost 3 years, probably because the online servers weren't that good back then, but now that they've improved them, now there's online. But part of that is beside the point, because what I'm basically trying to say is that if Nintendo can go back to a game that they made almost 3 years ago and put in some form of DLC, whether it's online related or not, because something along their hardware or software improved, then I don't see why they couldn't go back to a game like Mario Kart and add more tracks, more battle maps, maybe even new battle modes. I don't know. If they have an idea for battle mode, they could bring back some of the old battle modes from other Mario Kart games, because I learned that Shine Thief was apparently a battle mode from a previous Mario Kart game. It's not entirely new. I think Bob-on Blast is Renegade Roundup is really the only new battle mode. But my point is that being able to go back to a certain game and include more DLC in it is, it's not a bad idea by any means, especially if we're talking about your best-selling game of all time on a certain console. I feel like, dude, if you were to add more DLC into Mario Kart, I don't think anything will ever top that in terms of sales, right? There may be a game like Animal Crossing that's slowly creeping up on Mario Kart. If you want Mario Kart to be the distinctive game for the Nintendo Switch, just add more DLC, and I guarantee you, you're gonna see money rolling in, dude. There's no argument there.
100%. Okay, we are out of time for this. Tell people where we can find you. Titus, where can we check you out?
Okay, well, you can check me out at Titus Wang on YouTube. And you can check me out on Twitch at TitusTW, and all of my other social medias will be in the panels of my Twitch channel and in the descriptions of my YouTube videos.
Awesome. Please go check out Titus. Thank you so much for coming on to Pod Hour. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
And as I say on my channels, enjoy your freshly baked sleep. Just don't eat it.
Thank you very, very much. Take care.
Yep, take care.
Bye. All right, 666. So, that's, wonderful. 3 wonderful people coming on and talking. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you. We're not done yet, though, because one person we're still waiting to get back from, and we still have a write-in from our good friend NJ La Rosa. So, instead of waiting for all that, let's get right into it. So, NJ writes in. Thank you, Titus. Thank you, Omega. And thank you, Illegal. NJ writes in terms of Nintendo, I'm not expecting a lot. Maybe some sneak peeks to the new Pokemon games. I believe that refers to the... Hi, NJ. NJ is in chat right now. I believe that refers to the Pokemon League of Legends and a couple of other things, if I'm not mistaken, right? I also don't expect teasers or an announcement to a Switch Pro, but would like to see a nice major Switch software update such as customizing, although that seems rare. I agree. We're gonna... I'll do this section by section. Let's not read the whole thing. Let's go section by section. I would like to see sneak peeks to new Pokemon games. Maybe there's a section of the Nintendo Direct that has something to do with Pokemon. Maybe like a Pokemon section, you know? That would be awesome. I agree. I think it's fair to expect it too, because we haven't heard a whole lot of news about it. No, you don't expect any teasers to a Switch Pro, but a major Switch software update as customizing would be awesome. I agree. Look at the 3DS and the fact that you can customize themes and all that. There's a setting on the 3DS where every time you open it, you can switch between 10 different themes. Phenomenal. The Switch has 2 themes. It has black and it has white. Throw in a Mario theme, throw in a Zelda theme, throw in a Kirby theme. You have all these IPs that have wonderful themes, wonderful musics. Soundtracks is what I tried to say, but I said musics. Throw that in. Mix that into a little bit. That would be great. Milton's yelling in the background. I might have to mute for a second. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Milton just wanted to yell. Had some clear opinions about E3, like NJ said. So yeah, I marked the time. I'll just cut that out when I edit this later. No problem. That does seem rare. I agree that it seems rare. It seems absolutely rare. Because Nintendo this whole time, it's been, 4 years since the Switch came out? 2017? Haven't gotten a new theme since. So, yeah, it's a nice dream. I'm hoping maybe another Kirby game is announced, since there hasn't been one this year yet. The last Kirby influx of Kirby content we got was what? Star Allies, there was that freemium game that came out, Battle Clash? Something like that? Kirby, there's like a Battle Royale. A bunch of stuff gets announced for Kirby, but not like a main series game. So, maybe we see something. Maybe another spin-off would be nice. I agree. I look forward to seeing some other titles. I also hope for a Zelda announcement, even though I don't play the games. But I know a lot of people are looking forward to it, especially Breath of the Wild 2. Fair. I'm not the biggest Zelda fan either. I really like Breath of the Wild. I like Twilight Princess. I haven't really played the other ones, but they're not really my cup of tea from what I've seen. I got Breath of the Wild out of circumstance because, I needed a game to play on Switch. And it was great. I absolutely love Breath of the Wild. Really, really good. We were told they had something in mind during, I think, the Game Awards, so we'll see. Yeah, I think it's fair to expect something regarding, at the very least, Skyward Sword getting remastered. And I think Hyrule Warriors got DLC. I don't think they're going to get more DLC, but we'll see. In terms of Xbox, moving on to Xbox, not much to say. Maybe a couple more games to Game Pass. I'd love to see MLB The Show make an appearance on PC with Game Pass. I agree. MLB The Show is phenomenal. It's out on Xbox. It's out on PlayStation. It was originally a PlayStation exclusive. It is now on Xbox, and they said it's bringing it to PC. So maybe we get a trailer. Whenever the Xbox Bethesda showcases, we get a nice, big old trailer for the show coming to PC. It deserves it. It deserves the slot. Hopefully finally see a date for Microsoft Flight Simulator to Xbox. This is a big thing, right? NJ mentioned this in chat earlier. This is the thing I wanted to talk about. I didn't know that we were expecting Flight Simulator anymore. I thought we had just, it's a PC game. Forget about it. If they're really going to bring it to Xbox, that's going to be another Series X exclusive. That's going to be a big exclusive. There's no way they're going to put that on one if that game is going to be anywhere near as powerful as it should be. Okay? That's just a fact. Let it be as strong as it could be on the Series X. No problem. It'll run flawlessly. It'll be great. And some other titles, but that's all I wish for. Fair. Not a huge Xbox nerd. Me neither. Right? Me neither. Oh yeah, I'm also hoping for Mario Kart 9 teasers, as well as maybe Super Mario Odyssey 2. Now there's a stretch. Let's talk about Odyssey 2 for a second. We've talked a lot about Mario Kart and all that. I would like to see it, but I'd also like to see DLC. We'll see where that goes and if they do anything there. In regards to Super Mario Odyssey 2, you know how Super Mario Party just got this big new update where they can play online, right? Maybe that's a sign that Nintendo is acknowledging older games and how to improve them. And maybe we can see some Odyssey DLC beyond the free updates for costumes and, Luigi's Balloon World. Maybe another world would be cool. Maybe another place to visit, like a DLC world. That would be awesome. I don't think we're going to see a sequel just yet. It would be really cool. I absolutely agree. We need to do Super Mario Party with the squad sometime, hopefully soon. I don't see a sequel because we just got 3D All-Stars. So I think that's the newest influx of Mario content for the Switch for now. Maybe we get something. Maybe we get a teaser for DLC. I would love to see something expanded on Odyssey, be that a sequel or DLC. It deserves it, maybe more so than Super Mario Party does. I have my gripes with Super Mario Party. If you're watching, or you're listening, wherever you are, you should go check out my Mario Party tier list on YouTube. That's a good plug. This is the final note from NJ's writing. I want Switch Sports like Wii Sports, although I expect this not to happen. I don't think that's going to happen because of 1-2 Switch. I think 1-2 Switch was the Wii Sports of the Switch. Though it would be really cool to get something similar to Wii Sports in terms of Switch Sports. Because again, the motion control on Switch is very tight. It's very good. It's very well built. I would like to see something like this too. That's probably a reach, right? I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know what the chances of that going to happen are. We'll see if anything gets related to that. It would be nice, but I don't see it. Just because of 1-2 Switch being like... You know how Wii Sports was kind of like the demo of what you could do with the Wii? That's what 1-2 Switch, and that's what Super Mario Party is, if we're really thinking about it. Both of those games are very, very much like highlights of the Switch's capabilities, which we've kind of abandoned, right? Not a whole lot of games use motion controls anymore, which is fine, right? We don't need motion controls. We don't want that. We want tight gameplay, we want good stories, and we want good graphics. That's what the community wants. Me, personally, I don't mind, right? Busting out the Joy-Con, hitting the ball out of the park, ruining Matt in boxing or tennis from Wii Sports, be phenomenal, be great. I would love to see that too, but I agree with you where you say I expect this not to happen. I also don't think it's going to happen. Should it happen? Absolutely. What Titus is saying, Wii Sports ported to Switch with possible online, would be wild. Absolutely, big agree. I don't think it's going to happen because they have no reason to. Again, they've surprised us before with games that we never asked for, and we were all like, this is great. So, who knows, right? We will just have to see what the future holds. Okay. I'm going to open it up a little bit while I ramble. Anybody in chat right now on Twitch, drop in some comments. Technically, Clubhouse games could also be considered as the Wii Sports. Technically, but that's more related to board games, whereas the Wii Sports was all about physical movement, like tennis, boxing, bowling. Like, those are much more integrated, whereas Clubhouse games was more like, okay, let's play some Uno, but we can't call it Uno because that's trademarked. How about Yahtzee, except it's not called Yahtzee? We can call it poker, though, because nobody owns a trademark on poker. Yeah, no, true. They do have like a toy baseball version and a couple other games. That's fair. That's fair. In Clubhouse games. Okay. So yeah, hit me with some more thoughts in chat. I'll leave it open for a few more minutes. And yeah, what else? Let's look at the schedule. Let's look at the schedule. Redefine Joy-Cons from Nintendo. You think they're going to change up the Joy-Cons? Why should they? They have all that technology in there. Well, what's wrong with the Joy-Cons that need fixing? Though they should re-release them because of drift. That's the only issue. But you can send them to Nintendo and they fix them and all that stuff. But yeah, addressing Joy-Con drift would be cool. A new Joy-Con that doesn't drift would be nice. Here's something I don't think we've talked about. I don't think anybody's mentioned anything about Ubisoft. Maybe that's because people don't really like Ubisoft. Me, I don't mind Ubisoft. That's fine. Maybe we see some DLC for Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is a yearly franchise now, so maybe we get a new Assassin's Creed announcement. There's something that we're probably going to see. A new Assassin's Creed get announced. That would be cool. Far Cry 6 just got a trailer, so I don't think we're going to see too much. It would be nice to see some solid gameplay, though. I agree. We just got a trailer that introduces us to the main character, I think. and like some more backstory about what's happening. And Giancarlo Esposito is a phenomenal actor. Absolutely love him. Milton's yelling again. Xbox and Bethesda we've talked about. We haven't talked about Square Enix. I want Super Mario RPG back more than anything. That's not going to happen, but whatever. Let's talk about Square Enix for a little bit. Probably going to get like I said, we're going to get a trailer for Final Fantasy VII Powerade. The PC Gaming Show and the Future Game Show. What is that? What is that referred to? The PC Gaming Show. Is Valve going to show something? Here comes Half-Life, not 3, but another VR game that you're going to have to spend $1,200 to play. Nah, maybe something Left 4 Dead. We're probably going to see something for Back 4 Blood and a bunch of other games that are coming up. But, the Super Mario Remaster RPG would be awesome. Probably a Steam update. The Future Game Show, that's probably just going to be upcoming. Just like random devs that didn't get their own thing. Half-Life Alyx 2. Yeah, like I said, VR. Take-Two Interactive, Mythical Games, Freedom Games, Razer, and Capcom. We've talked about Take-Two. I don't know Mythical Games. I don't know Freedom Games or Razer off the top of my head. But Capcom, maybe something related to Street Fighter, right? Maybe... Here's what's probably going to happen with Capcom. We're probably going to see a remaster of a game we all forgot about. Because a lot of games companies will do that. They'll just remaster things that we just completely forgot about. And we're like, yo, like it's been years since I played this game, bro. I got to get it, Bandai Namco. Oh, what has Bandai been making lately? If anybody has any ideas of what Bandai is doing lately, let me know. I don't see NetherRealm mentioned here. Maybe NetherRealm will drop in the Future Game Show. Or maybe NetherRealm will get something shouted out during the Xbox showcase. Because they don't have their own slot. Oh, officially Pac-Man 2. Maybe talking about Pac-Man 99 and it coming to other consoles? Maybe. The Nintendo Direct is on the 15th. We've talked a lot about Nintendo today. I'm not sure what else there is to talk about Nintendo. Honestly, we've hit just about every mark. And then the 15th, after the Nintendo Direct, is when they're going to wrap up E3 with the awards show. Which is cool. Tales of Arise. What is Tales of Arise? I don't even know. Yeah, any other thoughts? Any shocks? I don't really know. The good thing about E3 is that you can have expectations, but most of the time you're going to be surprised by what comes up, right? You don't really ever know what to expect. You can always hope. And that's one of the biggest things about hype. Prepare your timelines. There are going to be rumors and thoughts and speculations like this one that you're currently listening to. There's going to be a ton of those coming up. So get ready for those and if something is leaked or rumored or whatever, always take them with a grain of salt is my biggest piece of advice. I talk about this a lot. When you put expectations on a game, they will almost always never reach those expectations, which is why Cyberpunk failed to an extent. Bayonetta 3, we didn't talk about Bayonetta 3. Something about Bayonetta 3 would be nice. We talked about Metroid. Omega brought up Metroid. Something about Metroid would be nice. It'd be awesome. GTA 5 for the Samsung Smart Fridge. You heard it here first. GTA 5 is coming to the Samsung Smart Fridge. Make no mistake. The official sequel to Microsoft 2. Okay. I'd like that. How about Windows 10 2? Instead of Windows 11, Windows 10 2. But it's a video game instead of an actual computer running software. Yo, you think they're going to finally drop Video Game 2? I don't think that. Omega says Video Game 2. That tracks. They're probably working on another one. How about Minecraft? Isn't Minecraft getting an update very soon? I forget what it's called, but Minecraft is getting something soon, is it not? Huh. The Caves and Cliffs update. We didn't talk about Minecraft. The Caves and Cliffs update. I feel like they started rolling it out a little bit. Part 2 releases near Christmas. Maybe we get a trailer, maybe a little bit more overview about Minecraft. Maybe something else we didn't expect. Okay, so little bonus for those of you who stuck around to the end of the episode. We got ourselves our 5th guest. We have Frogman. So, Frogman, hit me. What do you want from E3 this year? What are you expecting?
I'm really hoping for some, trailers, new games like, let's see, I don't even know, to be completely honest.
Do you think they're going to... I know, because I know you. Do you think they're going to talk about the next Call of Duty that's coming out at the end of the year?
I don't think so. I'd be surprised, to be honest.
Why is that?
Because they don't... I feel like Who's doing it this year? Is it Treyarch or is it
I didn't see either name, but I think last year it was Cold War, which was Treyarch, right?
right?
So
Usually I think that like to be independent. I'd hope to see it, but after the last few couple games, that especially Cold War, wasn't my favorite.
yeah, you are not a big fan of Cold War. We know that very well.
Yeah, it's true.
Any give me any old guess. You don't have to take up the full 10 minutes I gave you. Just hit me with something you'd like to see. Maybe from when you were a kid, maybe something recent. Just hit me.
Well, I would have liked to see God of War, but Sony doesn't do those trailers, and it's delayed to 2022. So
Yeah. It would have been nice to see something where God of War. I agree. I talked about that a little bit. And we talked about the fact that Sony just doesn't show up at E3 anymore.
I don't know. It's so annoying.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Do you think Sony's going to try to announce something to compete with E3 news, or do you think they're just going to stay out of it entirely?
I think it'd be sick if they, had a trailer for God of War, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, no, especially it just got pushed back to next year. So, once again, completely agree. Okay, what do you think about the rumors about a PS5 that is updated? How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't think I'm going to buy it personally because PS5 originally was just so underwhelming, and there wasn't any new games that's PS5 exclusive. Even like the new God of War, as we're talking about, is going to have PS4 on it as well.
Yeah.
And there's really not a point yet for buying the new console. So, I don't really care about it.
No, completely fair. You're 100% allowed to say that. Do you think they're going to talk about it at E3? You think they're going to Sony, so probably not. I just forgot for a second. Yeah. All right. Sick. Any other notes?
No, that's about it.
That was sick. All right. So from a more casual gamer, not a hardcore, super into multiple genres, from Frogman. Frogman, thank you for the time. Where can people check you out? Where can people look at your stuff? Do you want to shout out? Do you want people to go check you out on Twitch or something?
Stream. Hey, you should follow my friend of mine. His Twitch is Odd Hour NYC.
Oh yeah, he sounds like a really cool guy.
Oh, he's great. He's absolutely amazing.
Thank you for the time, Frogman. If you hit me with any other thoughts, please message them to me and I'll record it really quick. But
yeah, sure.
Thank you for the time. I hope you have a good weekend. And yeah.
Yeah. All right. See you.
See you around. Bye. And the question is, what are each of these big devs, right, really specifically Xbox and Nintendo, what are they going to drop for their holiday release? This is when you tease it. This is usually when you tease it. Xbox has Halo Infinite. Listen, I don't think Halo Infinite is going to sell well, and that's just because nobody has a Series X, right? They're not making that many, and people are buying them as soon as they show up. So I don't think we're going to see good sales for Halo Infinite, which is disappointing. But I would bet money that if you look at Halo Infinite sales compared to Xbox Series X scales, it's going to be the best-selling game in history. And I say that just because everybody who has a Series, anybody who was either, depending on where you sit, dumb or smart enough, and I say this as someone who has a PS5, who has a Switch, is probably going to get the Switch Pro. I'm definitely going to get the Switch Pro. I have a PS5, a Switch, and a Series X right there. And a giant PC that cost me almost $3,000. Whether you're dumb or smart enough to have gotten a Series X or a PS5 as soon as launch day comes out, everybody who's gotten the Series X, they want Halo Infinite. Because what we've talked about with the League of Men, you need a reason to play the Series X. You need a reason to own it right now. And that is the biggest reason. Halo Infinite has so much riding on it. So much riding on it. That it's absurd. It is absurd. And I don't know if I have anything else to say. So, in that spirit, and in the hopes that E3 is mind-blowing, because we didn't have one last year and we don't really know what to expect, let's just hope we get something. Let's just hope we all walk away with something that makes us excited. Right? We talked about a lot of games today, and the whole spirit of gaming is that it makes us happy. It's our hobbies. For some of us, it's our side hustle, right? I have a full-time job now that I love, and I love my side hustle too. I find this really solid balance so far between the two. Gaming is a huge part of my life. And in the spirit of us coming together and having these really, really good discussions on what we expect from one of the biggest events in the year, don't get angry if what you wanted didn't come out, and do not gloat if what you wanted did come out. That pertains very heavily to Smash fighters because there's a lot of toxicity around, like rooted in Smash, which always puts a lot of hesitancy into it, like associating with the community. But I found the people that I meet to be pretty cool people, and I'm lucky. I'm thankful that when people come in and are toxic, that we just root them out quickly. That I call them out or you guys call them out. It's important. It's important because you have the power to make your community that much better. I said this before. The report button to report a player is there for a reason. So whenever someone's being toxic that you don't like, report them. You have nothing to lose. Nothing. It takes a little bit of your time that you're probably already waiting on a game to load anyway. So in that spirit, go forward, be good people, and be good gamers. Right? Be a good person and wreck everybody you play against. When you're playing online, when you're playing single-player games, get that 100%. Play the games to how you want. Just don't ruin it for yourself or anybody else. E3 is a time of fun. Let's keep it fun. And with that, that is where we end. I love you all so, so much. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. If you're, as I'm saying this live right now on Twitch, if you've stuck with me through this episode, stick around because I have a little surprise. For those of you who are listening or watching on YouTube, you should come check me out on Twitch because I do a lot of surprises. Okay. And with that, I send you back out into the world. I love you. If you enjoyed this, check me out on TikTok, join my Discord, check me out on YouTube, Twitch, the podcast, wherever you're not listening to right now, go check me out. I love making content for you guys. I love this. If you have something you want to say about E3, comment it. Drop it. I'm always down to talk. My Discord is open to people who want to join. Hit me up. Drop a comment. Let's talk. That's what this was supposed to be for. And I dare I say, it was a success. So, go out, be good, and I love you. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. See you guys later.